Your print provider's mockups are not enough to turn clicks into conversions. Today, I'm going to show you the 5 listing images that you need to build trust and get buyers to want your product. The first type of listing image you need is going to be your thumbnail image. Now, whichever image you put as your first image on Etsy is automatically going to be your thumbnail image, which means it's going to be the image that is shown in front of everybody before someone clicks into your listing, but it's also going to be shown next to other listings as well. So you really want to make sure it's a good image because this is your first impression for a potential customer. I hinted to it at the beginning of the video, but I'll say it again. You do not want your image to be your print provider's mockup image that they give you. The print provider's image is a good way to figure out where your design should be placed on your product, but isn't as good for selling because it doesn't really give off the aesthetic or the lifestyle behind the product. Now, what this thumbnail image looks like and what is best for it to look like definitely depends on the product type and the niche. So definitely do some research on Etsy to see what your audience specifically is liking for those types of things. For apparel, maybe it's flat lay or maybe it's a lifestyle photo. For mugs, maybe they like seeing it in a super aesthetic living room or bedroom, or maybe they prefer it to be held in someone's hand. So definitely take a look in your niche and product type and see what the audience is seeming to prefer based off what's selling. Another thing you want to keep in mind is you want to make sure that your design is legible from the front page. You want to make sure it's not too zoomed in where you're not seeing the full design, but you also don't want to make sure it's too zoomed out where you're not seeing the full design or you can't see it from maybe the front page or on a phone. And again, going back to research, you might also want to see what other people are including on their thumbnail image. Maybe for a cup, they show a little badge where it says 2 different sizes or front and back print. And maybe you notice for apparel that they'll say fast shipping or more color options available. So you want to look and see what other people in your niche and product type are doing, or maybe things that you can do to maybe entice customers a little bit more. But overall, for your thumbnail image, do not make it too complicated. The most important thing I would say is to find a mock-up image that is not just the one from the print provider. The second type of listing images you need is your variant type of image or your how to order type of image. So this would be like your size chart, your color chart, if there's any personalization. Now this is important because this tells the customer how they're going to order from you. They need a chart to show sizing so they know what size to order and there's no confusion there. They need to know what the colors look like and maybe actually be able to visualize the difference between ash gray and sports gray. With these images, we're doing everything to reduce friction and remove hesitation from customers to figure out how they need to order the product, because if they can't figure out what color is violet, they're not going to order. And if they can figure out if they need to get a medium or a large, they're not going to order. So you want to give them this information up front so that your buyers can buy with confidence. In the video I made on why you're not seeing sales, I mentioned that it's best to have your charts, size charts, color charts, whichever it is, match your shop's branding. I even suggested making these charts yourself so that they don't feel out of place with the rest of your listing images. But I know for a lot of people that feels intimidating, like where do you even start when you're making a size chart from scratch? But that's where today's sponsor, Kittl, comes in. Kittl is a design platform that helps take your ideas into finished creations. Whether it's size charts, shop banners, product designs, or anything else you might need for your shop, Kittl gives you access to a variety of fonts, elements, textures, and even mock-ups all in one place. That means you don't have to juggle a bunch of platforms to create a polished design from start to finish. For this video, I built a size chart that I'm sharing with you to use in your own shop. And I'm also going to show you how to use their new Kittl Flows feature to quickly create variations, changing things like the color palette, layout, or style, so you can customize it however you want. So here's the original version I created with Kittl. And first, I wanted to experiment with a different color palette. Just with the prompt in Kittl Flows, I updated the colors to give the whole thing a new look, and you can see how quickly the colors change while keeping the layout just the same. Then next, I used Kittl Flows to generate another variation just with a different style and vibe to it. Just with the quick prompt, it created a completely new high quality alternative, perfect if you know there's a style that better resonates with your customers. A huge thank you to Kittl for sponsoring today's video. You can check out the link in the description or use code TiannaYT for 25% off all plans so you can try it for yourself and see how you can streamline creating your shop's graphics. The third type of image is your product's features and benefits image. So this is highlighting your product's features and benefits. So a feature describes what a product has or does, and a benefit describes how that feature affects the person's life. So a feature could be that this cup is spill proof. That's the feature. And the benefit of that being spill proof is that you can keep this in your bag or in your car and you know it won't spill. Now, this product features and benefit image. It can explain its material, its durability, its functionality, and even the packaging that it's coming in. So it's not only showing what the product is, but why the product is worth buying. Now, the fourth type of image is social proof. This type of image is important for building trust with your customers because it shows other customers loving and using your product. This can be a written review customers left on a product, or it can even be a photo review, but make sure you get permission from the customer to use their photo in your listing images. This type of social proof, it reassures buyers that they're making a good purchase and reduces the hesitation that they might have and increases conversion. And the final listing image you need is a guarantee. And I especially feel like you need this, especially as a new or smaller shop. Buyers are hesitant when purchasing online, especially if they're seeing it's a store that doesn't have many reviews or no reviews at all. Showcasing some type of satisfaction guarantee, a refund policy, or a happy customer promise will reduce the customer's fear and increase their trust in making a purchase. This essentially is a picture that will let the buyers know that if they are unhappy with their order, maybe because of the quality or the print or whatever it is, that you will offer them a return or a refund, whichever one works better for your shop. Knowing that they're protected if something goes wrong will make them a lot more comfortable purchasing if that's what their fear is. Think about it for yourself. When you're shopping online, if you didn't have any fears that you were going to get your product, or if you were fearful that you were to get your product, but you knew there was a refund policy in place, you were a lot more likely to purchase because you know, okay, well, if anything goes wrong, if I get the wrong size, or if it's not a good quality, then I can just return it. So it makes you feel a lot more relaxed and okay with making a purchase. Okay, so from now on, I want to see in your image, I want to see a bomb thumbnail photo. I want to see an image or various images talking about the variants that you offer for that listing. I want to see an image talking about the features and or benefits of your product. I want to see an image talking about the guarantee that you are offering with your product if someone orders. And I want to see a picture of social proof if you're able to provide that at this point. I'm going to give you two more examples of listing images. You can use one that I've used myself and another one that I've seen on a couple of the shops that I think is a pretty cool idea. One is just a page of a little introduction of yourself and who you are with a picture of yourself. I think this is very homey, very close, and almost brings the customer into your life a little bit so they can trust you a little bit more and trust your little business that you've got going on. Another option that you can do, which is what I do in most of my listings, not all, it's if I have space for it only, but I have an image that reminds a customer to favorite if they like what they see or save it for later. I do think I get a lot of favorites having this as my last listing. I'm not sure what the difference is whether I have it or not, but if I do have an extra space, I do like to include it, and it is one that matches my branding, so it all fits in pretty nicely. Otherwise, have a beautiful week. I will see you guys next week. Bye, people.